22nd of January 2017. Well, today was a productive day. We've been trying to get together like a set or a place to film like a current events sort of podcast sort of show. And we wanted a place that was very natural looking, very normal looking, but also said us, Vloginsons, our personality. And it's been about 3 weeks in the making. We don't do anything fast. We take a long time. And we were going to build the whole set around a sofa, kind of Roseanne style, right? Like an old looking sofa with like a blanket on it. And that kind of stays the same. And we're going to build everything else around it. And we didn't end up doing that. I ended up picking up like a cheap $20 chair. It's actually not a cheap chair. It's a nice, easy chair, used for 20 bucks at a place called Restore. And we kind of built the entire set around that chair and a wooden crate. The wooden crate is actually the one that all the presents came in our Christmas series that Snitchy the elf was sitting on. And we built everything around that, and it's kind of cool. We have the two easy chairs. We have a big shelf up the middle, and on the shelf and kind of all around is memorabilia from various videos. And so the crate from the videos there, we have the box from the haunting series that we lit on fire at the end that had all the notes and the stuffed animal like the bear and that kind of thing. That's on a shelf. We have the Wolfman gloves that I just tend to wear in the videos because I think it's funny. So they're there. The Wolfman mask from like the various pranks that we've done. There's things that are from our channel. Vegemite and Marmite. They're sitting on the shelf. There's various things from all over our channel that we've kind of got there as like an ode to the work that we've done on our channel in the past like year and a quarter or whatever. And I'm really happy with it. For one, we managed to keep the blackboard and the foosball table for the kids because there was talk of us getting rid of the foosball table. We didn't really know what we were going to do. We actually have the foosball table tucked away in a cubby and the blackboard along the wall in there. And then that opened the floor right up and we have all this usable space. It's not just a set to film a current event show, but it's usable space. It's not just a foosball table with a table for folding laundry, but we could actually chill down there, When my folks come to visit, they can sit in the easy chairs and take advantage of the Wi-Fi as opposed to having to go upstairs or whatever. Our house just got bigger feeling, because there's another place where people can go and be by themselves or go and do things. And the kids, when they have sleepovers, they can go down there and we won't have to hear them. They can sleep in the basement and it's going to be awesome. We're totally happy. It was such a productive day. The bad thing though, the other thing that happened today is Robert, the dexterous little mischievous boy, very curious. He likes to climb on or under everything. If it's got a hole big enough for him to shimmy his little butt through it, he's going to try and climb through it. If it's high enough that it seems interesting enough to climb on, he's going to climb on it. We don't like it when he does that. We like him climbing, but we don't want him climbing things that are dangerous. And he climbed the foosball table, which we don't condone, but which he does from time to time when no one's looking. And he climbed the foosball table. And Margaret's sitting in one of the chairs on her phone. She's been playing this Jewel game, like, incessantly. Anyway, she looks up just for a second. And he'd only been on the table for, like, 3 seconds. She looks up and says, "No, get down, Robert. You can't be on there." And climbing down, he slips. That kid never slips. He slips. Bangs his teeth. Bang! His gums in his teeth. Right off the foosball table. Bang! And all of a sudden, he's like, and he's holding his mouth, and he's crying, and I'm like, oh, I go over, oh no, and I pick him up, and I put my hand under his mouth to catch the blood, and the blood coming out of his mouth, and it's on my shirt, and take him to the bathroom. Fuck, turns out the kid, because he banged his tooth off the table, the one tooth is actually just like a millimeter lower, or half a millimeter lower than the other tooth now, and they were side by side. It's fucking lower now. And the gums are a little bit damaged, and it's a little wiggly. Like you can push it, it's wiggly. Now, I know that a lot of people would think, oh, it's wiggly, take him to the dentist. Well, the dentist at this point is just going to go, just watch it, don't let him eat anything. Don't let him eat apples or fucking anything chewy, and he'll be fine. Because the tooth will reseat itself in a couple days. It's not going to be wiggly forever. It'll reseat into the bone and the gums as they go around it again. It'll be nice and strong, and we're fine. The problem is the tooth is a little lower, just a butt hair lower, and I just feel so bad for him that he's like, and his top lip is all swollen and it hurts, you know, and he's got to have like applesauce and yogurt and stuff like that, and like banana. He can only have, because bananas don't take much to chew. Like shit. Like, just really don't like the fact he bashed his mouth off the foosball table. Again, taking him to the dentist wouldn't make a lick of difference because the dentist isn't going to do anything for him. Margaret's teeth. She banged her teeth out when she was younger, and the first thing the dentist did was put them back in her head. Just put her teeth right back in her head. Because you can do that. I mean, they're baby teeth, right? And yeah, they stayed in her mouth for another year, and then one died. But that's from being completely out of her head. They put him back in. It's still rooted. The tooth is still rooted. It's still in his mouth. So he didn't lose his tooth from this. It's just going to be tender and painful and sore and easy to bleed for the next, couple days. But it'll be fine. But it broke my heart. And Rachel was right there. And she just burst into tears. She was crying. As soon as he's always bleeding. Ah! And she lost it. And she had to leave. And we go upstairs to the bathroom, and he's crying, and we're looking at his mouth, and all the kids are in the bathroom, and they're looking at him, and they're freaking out, and we're like, just get out. Go, it's all right. Close the door. And Rachel just sat on the couch and wept and wept. I think she kind of felt like it was her fault. I said, do you think it was your fault? She's like, well, I was right there. Like, well, no, it's not your fault. You didn't do it. You didn't make him fall. You didn't force him to climb it. You had nothing to do with it. You couldn't catch him. You're an 8-year-old. You don't have the reaction time of a frickin', I don't know, frog's tongue or some shit like that. Like, it's not your fault. Don't feel bad about it. So she's been looking after him and babying him ever since. She's been sitting with him and making sure he doesn't go and steal an apple and try and eat it. So it's this great thing. We have this space now. It's awesome. But then we also have this kid that's in pain and fucking banged his mouth. And it's like, man, such is life, right? Things balance out. There's always good things and bad things. And that's our whole life. But it's like we saw that in the day. And yeah, as a vlogger, I filmed it after. I didn't film when it happened. I didn't film what we did in the bathroom. Took care of Robert there. But then it was like, all right, this is what we do. We film our life. And I pulled the camera out after, and I got footage of Robert with Mom and being held, and her wiping his mouth, and Rachel coming down and seeing him and crying again. And anyway, if you watch one of our other channels, I'm sure I'll load it up on one of those. But anyway, that was my day today. That's really that's all I did all day. I fixed the basement up all day from like the morning until like 8 in the evening or something like that. That's like literally all we did. And Robert banged his face. And I had a really good sandwich. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, end of today's record, end of the diary. Till next time.